Hall of Fame MC Michael Buffer just takes to the centre of the arena in Riyadh to announce the musical entertainment. And this has been a new thing since the Riyadh season has got involved, because it is a little bit more of a night out type feel. Yes, the fights have been great and the matchmaking's great, but there is a little bit of that extra sugar that they sprinkle on top of these things. At Wembley recently, we experienced I think it was three songs that we got from Liam Gallagher, wasn't it? As he showed us a little bit of taste of the Oasis comeback next year, which was all great for those that are from the north of England and enjoyed them when we were kids. But tonight they're bringing in Busta Rhymes and Missy Elliott, and I think the voice that you can hear in the background right now is Turki Al Sheikh, who is just addressing the audience inside the arena ahead of obviously the performance and ahead of the fight that's coming up a little bit later on. For those that are just tuning in, this is the talkSPORT watch along. It is available on the talkSPORT and talkSPORT boxing YouTube channels. You can tune in there and watch along with myself, Adam Catterall, Adam Smith alongside me in the studio, with Johnny Fisher, Gareth A. Davies and Spencer Oliver out in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, getting you closer to the action. So far this evening, it's been action-packed. We had a little bit of a weird ending to the Ben Whittaker fight with Liam Cameron. It finished in a technical draw because both men went over the top rope, and Ben Whittaker injured himself and couldn't continue. Sky Nicholson had a wide points decision victory and remains world champion in the featherweight division. Chris Eubank Jr. came through, put Camille Sedemaker down 4 times and ended up stopping the fight in the 7th round, getting the job done there, and then went nose-to-nose with Conor Benn. We think that is what is coming next at the start of 2025. And we saw Jai Opetaia just show absolute levels to his performance against Jack Massey. He was truly sensational. And a moment or two ago, we saw Fabio Woodley dismantle Fraser Clarke within 3 minutes. First round knockout. Fraser Clarke off to hospital, we are told, with a fractured cheekbone. There was a visible indentation to the side of his face and head. In the aftermath of that, the medical assistance was absolutely top class. I mean, we've come a long way with medical assistance, in-ring medical assistance. And one thing that I will take my hat off to, it sometimes baffles me when I'm in America, even now sometimes still, and the oxygen doesn't come out straight away or whatever it may be. I thought tonight they were rapid in response. The referee made a great decision early doors, got the fight called off. The medical team were in the ring, tending to Fraser. The gas mask was on there straight away, and the checks were being done. And obviously he's off to hospital now, Adam. And we've got to take our hats off to that, because, listen, we're the first to criticise officials and things when things go wrong. When things go right and they do it right, I think they deserve praise, and I thought tonight they got it bang on.
I'm close to Michael Watson and his team, and I have been for years, and Michael is just the most inspirational figure, I think, in British boxing, and I absolutely adore him, and how things have changed. And we saw with Spencer, I was ringside obviously, and the whole sort of aftermath of that at the Albert Hall, and how brilliantly the medics dealt with that situation. And as we've seen, Spencer, 100% recovery, fantastic, incredible. He's had such a great media career since. It's brilliant, and you know, he's so lively and bouncy. He's been given almost another chance, and he says he box again twice on Sundays. And I think that the British board and everybody involved, certainly here on the medical side, have been incredible. And you saw in Saudi tonight the speed at which they get in, and we noticed straight away that there's something wrong with Fraser, and they're on him, and it's hospital for Ben, it's hospital for Chris, it's checkups, and it's the right thing to do. This is a very, very serious business.
Absolutely, keeping him as safe as possible. So congratulations to everybody that was in the organisation of that a little earlier on. So that's been the story of the night so far. Right now on my monitor, gentlemen, we are seeing probably the most extravagant firework display that you're ever likely to see at a sporting event. I mean, this is Super Bowl-esque what we are witnessing right now, as this drone camera kind of gives us a nighttime view of downtown Riyadh, it looks like, over the harbour there. I'll tell you what, they spent some coin on these firework displays. I know that we're not at November the 5th as of yet, but they're going to town on it out there, aren't they? Jeez. I hope they're going to be spending this type of dough on you, Johnny, when you're out there with the fireworks on your ring walk, son.
I don't know what they'll be doing. Listen, I'm just grateful to be part of this because they are putting on a show, and can't wait for the main event, which is Bivol Beterbiev. That's what we're all waiting for, and this is just building that suspense a little bit more.
It was amazing at Wembley, wasn't it, Adam?
Yeah.
The pre the ring walks and then the ring walks, and it was extraordinary. It is a show. It isn't an entertainment business. It is an event. I remember when Ricky was really close, Ricky Hatton, to both Gallagher's, and they came in with the belts and stuff. And I wondered if just then they could give us a couple of songs at the Etihad, and then all these years later, this is actually happening for real. They're combining music and fusing it in with boxing, and just making it a great event.
Well, it comes down to what you were saying before, doesn't it? We are dealing tonight, and I'm sure, listen, as with anything new, as with any type of change, there's always people that turn their nose up in it, and they have something to say about it. Listen, I think everybody that is in the world of boxing knows full well that in order to reach those casual eyes or those mainstream eyes, you kind of have to freshen it up a little bit and do things a little bit different, be a little bit creative. Tonight, we know that we have got a fantastic fight on our hands, and that's going to be happening in the next half an hour or so, and we're incredibly excited about it. I know that you're frothing at the mouth listening to the show right now thinking, get on with it, get these guys in the ring, I want to see it. Yeah, we're with you, absolutely 100%. But as we said earlier on in the show, we are talking about two guys that might not necessarily have that mainstream crossover, that might not necessarily have that mainstream appeal. Now, if you are putting on pop stars, now I'll be honest, I have no idea who's on stage right now, absolutely none whatsoever. But, you know, she's singing away, she's doing her thing, and I'm sure she's appealing to a certain demographic. I've been told that Busta Rhymes is going to be up in a minute doing a little bit as well, and I'm sure he appeals to a certain demographic. Now, if those casual eyes come in because they're attracted to the performance of a music artist, and they see this and they go, all right, this is a bit different, and they stick around for a fight that absolutely wows them. Come on, man, that's not a bad thing, is it?
And they brought True Geordie in, haven't they? They're doing things differently, and that is great. Taking risks, looking for different audiences. That's the point of this. Having been through those days at Sky when it was really tradey and people just didn't. Weeks and weeks we went around the country to different leisure centres, and it was great for us, but there was hardly anyone watching.
Yeah.
To build that and to change it into sort of a dramatic picture, and the Saudis are doing this in another way, maybe even to another level. Yes, they're spending a huge amount of money, but they're trying to lift this. And if you walk down the street, people don't know who Bivol and Beterbiev are, but we want them to know who these amazing fighters are within the next year or two. And if that happens, then it's fantastic for the sport.
It is. I mean, listen, we witnessed it with AJ Dubois, and we witness it on a smaller scale. That's no disrespect to you, Johnny, on when you fight as well. What boxing is crying out for, it's not necessarily the traditional fella going down to watch the game. When we go to your fights, for example, Johnny, or we go to an Anthony Joshua fight, you see groups of girls turning up. You see different age demographics turning up. Groups of lads coming out on date nights with the partners and what have you. It's a night out. Is what we're trying to attract.
And different walks of life, completely.
Absolutely.
Like different classes of people as well. And that's what you've got to do. You've got to try and transcend all of that. And to be fair, Anthony Joshua led the way in doing that, and we've got to try and keep that going, you know, because
he deserves so much credit, Johnny, for that.
He is. People overlook it in this. I think people in this country like to build people up and they'll cut people down. Anthony Joshua left a legacy for a long time in this sport.
Well, a whole era. If you, I know that obviously you've been with George today, and that's kind of where it started. George and Carl, they did the Wembley show, and that's kind of where it kicked. But the man that carried that flag was Anthony Joshua with those stadium shows.
No question.
And you only fill stadium shows by having the appeal to this crazy demographic, which is a non-traditional boxing crowd.
Every single woman in my family likes AJ, whether it's my daughters, whether it's my wife, whether it's my mum, and then my brothers like him as well. I mean, it's just he did appeal at that time, coming out of the Olympics, London Olympics, with that big swell, and there's this nice guy with a big smile, and he's attractive, and he's great with the media, and he can fight, and hey, hang on, look, he's a heavyweight, and what else? I mean, it was amazing, and the whole sort of rise of him, and fighting on the undercard at Wembley, and then seeing him top it against Klitschko and go on from there.
It's a night out, isn't it? It's a night out.
It is a night out, and yes, he has lost to Andy Ruiz. He has lost to Alexander Usyk, as everybody else has, and he has lost to Daniel Dubois, and he got crushed by Daniel Dubois. Let's not take away anything from Daniel's performance, which was ruthless and fantastic. But Joshua has really changed this sport for the better and inspired a whole new generation. And I just can't wait to see whatever he goes on to do in the ring. I can't wait to see what he does out of the ring when he finally retires. And he'll be an amazing ambassador. Take someone like Katie Taylor, who's given so much to the sport. When she walks away from it, and I'm so glad she's getting huge money in her fight against Amanda Serrano, because she deserves every single penny. The girl that she had to dress up as a boy, Kay Taylor at 11. What a story she's been.
What a nice lady she is.
And what a wonderful, wonderful woman and a fantastic icon for Ireland. And what she's going to do afterwards, because it's going to be tough. She's trained and trained and trained for the fights for so long, and suddenly it's going to be over soon, and she's going to go and do something different. Well, imagine Anthony and Katie and people like that, and Tyson being these ambassadors for boxing for the next generation. It's going to be phenomenal.
And exactly what you've both kind of just been alluding to there now, we are starting to see Riyadh season try to take that mantle of what Joshua did and try and take it up to the next level. Who knows where this is going in the next 12 months? I don't know what they're going to be doing. Right now we're witnessing a performance that is Busta Rhymes. I can confirm that, gentlemen. He's from my era, so I can confirm that that's him, and his mates up there doing a few tunes from the 1990s. I'll be honest with you, it's not really. I wouldn't be buying his records, mate, but I would have been buying Liam Gallagher's. So yeah, that one I ticked that one off last time around. But this is great, a fantastic performance so far that's going on in the build-up towards Beterbiev Bivol, and when you come back to join us, hopefully we'll be in the middle of some ring walk so we can get excited about the best fight in boxing. Don't be going anywhere.
On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.